Okay, welcome to page 6. When you board a Ferris wheel, we are someone highlights the information here. We are 1 foot off the ground at the highest point of the ride, so we are 101 feet. So that highest is important there. The fact that we are the highest at 101 tells us we have a max at 101. Max at 101. It takes 36 seconds for the ride to complete one full revolution, so that sounds like it is booking it. It is booking it. So 36 seconds is important because that is one full rotation. So our period is equal to 36 seconds. What else do we got? You brought first 1 foot off the ground. Its highest point is 1 foot off the ground. That's the lowest. So we have a minimum at 1. Minimum at 1. Period is 36 seconds. So we need an amplitude. We need an amplitude, which is going to be 101. Amplitude is a distance, so it's going to be subtraction. 101 minus 1 over 2, which is 100 over 2, which is 50. Our A is equal to 50. Our B is 2 pi over period. So it's 2 pi over 36, which is pi over 18. Our C, we're not worried about C here because we are getting on at the bottom. We are boarding at the bottom, so we're boarding at the lowest, so we already have cosine selected for us, so we don't even need a C, no phase shift needed. And then my D is the distance from the center to it's the midpoint. So it's the average between the max and the min. So we'll do 101 plus 1 divided by 2. So this is a 60, not 60, it's 51. So our A is 50. Bam. Our B is pi over 18, pi over 18, and our D is 51. There is our equation. Almost is our equation. Since we're boarding at the bottom, we're boarding at the minimum. So we're starting at our minimum, start. So we should have a negative 50 right there. Okay, let's see how well I made this to see if all these numbers work out nice and pretty. H of 15. How high are off the ground after 15 seconds? So when t is equal to 15. So we want to find h of 15. Negative 50 cosine pi over 18. Hopefully these will come out nice and pretty. We will find out. Plus 51. So let's start with these in here. That is 15 pi over 18. Cosine of that times negative 50. So this is, so divide top and bottom by 3, and you get 5 pi over 6. So this is 5 pi over 6. Plus 51. Oops, wrong pen. Cosine of 5 pi over 6 is going to be the square root of 2 over 3. I did the wrong one when I made this. I was aiming for pi over 3, not pi over 6, but whoops. Negative 50 times the square root of 3 over 2. The cosine of 5 pi over 6 is actually negative square root of 3 over 2 plus 51. So that's going to equal a very, very unsatisfying. So the negatives cancel out. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So we get a very unsatisfying 25 square root of 3 plus 51. I was really aiming for the whole numbers, but I hit the wrong point on the unit circle when I was picturing it in my head. I think I should have gone with, I would have gone 12 seconds. 12 seconds would have been the correct answer. Yeah. 12 seconds. Darn. Okay, let's keep going though. After 3 seconds, and this one's going to be a little bit annoying. So h of 3 is equal to negative 50 cosine of pi over 18 times 3. So my voice cracked there a little bit. Just hitting puberty. It's nice. Late bloomers, don't laugh at me. So 18 divided by 3, that's 1/6. So this is going to end up being, so that would simplify down to 1/6. So that is negative 50 cosine of pi over 6 plus 51. Cosine of pi over 6 is square root of 3 over 2. Great. Plus 51. And that's it. That's, oh, well, it's not quite it. We can actually simplify it. That becomes 25. That 2 goes away. So we end up with 25 square roots of negative 25 square roots of 3 plus 51 feet off the ground. Okay. Again, unsatisfying. I was trying to pick the right spot in my head. I missed. I missed by 1 spot on the unit circle. Darn. After 18 seconds, this one should work out a little bit better. Negative 50 cosine of pi over 18, and after 18 seconds, plus 51. The 18s will cancel out, leaving just pi. So we get negative 50 cosine of pi plus 51. Cosine of pi is negative 1. Yes, negative 1. So negative 51. Cosine of pi is negative 1 plus 51. Oh, sorry, this should be negative 50 times negative 1, which is just equal to 50 plus 51, which is equal to 101 feet. Oh yeah, all these are feet as well. Great. And we're done with those. On the test, I will make sure I fully work them out before I submit it to you guys, and they will come out to nice, neat, pretty numbers. Plus, there'll be multiple choice, so I would have to have all the answers already. Here, write an equation for the curve pictured below. So for an equation, we need an A, we need a B, we need a C, and we need D. A is our amplitude, so we have a max of 0 and a minimum of -4. So that is going to be 0 minus -4 over 2. So we have an amplitude of 2. B is the period, so that is the distance from, I don't want to worry about negatives right now, so I'll just pick this spot. I don't want to pick that spot. I mean, that's pi over 4 if you want to do that. Let's pick, what do we want to pick here? Let's just pick, I guess we'll pick, it's weird how they did negative pi over 4 here, but they didn't do the negative pi over, or the positive pi over 4 right here, or the 3 pi over 4 right here. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so let's just do it this way. This is going to be halfway here, so this is going to be 3 pi. Nope, it's going to be bigger. So this should be, what, 5 pi over 4? Gosh, what a nice easy one. Why can't they pick an easy spot? Oh, here we go. I'm going to do a very unconventional way. So right here, bam, that's on pi. That is on pi. So I'm going to find another spot where it's increasing on the same line. That is right here at 3 pi. So the distance from there to there is 3 pi minus pi. So it's 2 pi. Our period is 2 pi. So B is 2 pi divided by our period, which is 2 pi, which is equal to 1. Bam. Mildly annoying, but fine. Whatever. Midline. Midline is, let's do midline before I do C. Midline is going to be 0 plus a -4 divided by 2, which should be y equals -2. So D is equal to -2. Now, what point do I want to pick here? So I'm going to pick one that's labeled. So this guy right here is labeled. That guy right here is labeled. This is -3 pi over 4. So I'm going to use a C that equals -3 pi over 4. And because this is a max, I'm going to use cosine. Positive cosine because it's a max. So my C will be equal to -3 pi over 4. I changed colors because it's right and kind of snug in there. So this line is going to be, one of the equations I can use is f of x is equal to 2, that's my amplitude, and since I measured to a max for my C line, my C value, I'm going to use cosine, and it's positive since it's a max. My B is 1, so I don't even need to write anything in there. So we'll have my x or theta or whatever you want to use. I'm using x. And we are going to do minus a -3 pi over 4. So minus a negative makes that a positive 3 pi over 4. And then my D is -2, so bam, -2. Bam. There's my equation. How to get a little creative on this particular period. I mean, if you did the math, you would have got the same thing for everything else. I was just looking for spots where they are properly labeled, just to make it easier for my brain meat. I don't want to deal with fractions of fractions. It can be hard to do that without writing a lot of stuff. Okay, so again, we need an A. Let me alternate colors this time and it might be easier to read. We need a B. We're going to need a C. And then we need a D. So my max, I have a max at 6. I have a minimum at -2. Max at 6, minimum at -2. That gives me an amplitude of 6 minus a -2 over 2. So 6 minus a negative is a positive, so 6 plus 2 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. B is going to be 2 pi over the period, which is equal to the period here. So what 2 points do I want to use? I have a midline of, I have an amplitude of 4. Well, what's my midline real quick? I can follow my midline. Hopefully my midline's 2. Let's find out. 6 plus a -2 over 2 is equal to, so 6 minus 2 is 4, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I have a midline right here at y equals 2. And so that means that I can use that point there and this point here, or I can use, I'll start a 0 mark. That would have been smarter. Bam, lose those 2 points. So that is from 0 to pi over 2. So that's 2 pi over 2 minus 2. So my period is pi over 2. So 2 pi over 2, which should just equal 4. My B should be 4. And then finally my C, well, my midline at a y-intercept. So I can just use sine. I can use, and it's increasing. So I can just use sine. I was written off the page there. So because the graph intersects a midline at the y-intercepts, I can use sine. It's increasing. Don't need a c. C can equal to 0 in this particular case. So my final equation is f of x equals a, which is 4. I'm using positive sign because I'm increasing. And then I will use my b, which is 4, x times midline, don't have a, or minus midline, don't have a midline, or not, bleh, can't talk, it's getting late. Minus c, but I don't have a c, c is 0, so I have to put it. And then my d is 2, so I will add 2, and there is my equation. And that completes the study guide. I'm going to get these videos uploaded, and I will see you guys tomorrow, and these hopefully will be available by then. Y'all, good luck on the test.